If you're trying to learn a different language, there are so many different methods that you can use, it can be overwhelming and it can be hard to know which technique gets you fluent the fastest. In this video, I'm going to show you a method that can get you fluent as fast as possible. I'm James, I'm native in English and I can speak Spanish and Italian. I have 13 years of language learning experience. I can tell you that the thing that gets you fluent isn't flashcards, it isn't Duolingo, it's not language apps, it's conversation. You might find that you have a massive daily streak on a language app, but you still can't have conversations with native speakers. So the gap, or the thing you're missing really, is conversational practice. But then it's easier said than done if you don't live in the country where it's spoken. So that now brings me to the point of this video. I've been working on a language platform that focuses on helping you with actual conversations. It's called Voco and it's a conversational AI platform designed to be used on your laptop or desktop. And essentially, it speaks to you and you talk back to it like a two-way conversation in real time. Anyway, let me show you how it works and how you can use it to get fluent in conversations. So this is a platform and it's called Voco. And what it does is as part of onboarding, it asks you what you like and don't like and then tailors the conversation around you. So importantly, if you're having a conversation, you're trying to practice with natives, you want to talk about things that interest you, otherwise you'll get bored. So I'm about to start a new session, a conversation session on this page now. And you can see it's asking me a few different things that I could talk about. So if you could travel anywhere tomorrow, where would you go and why? Okay, that sounds interesting. There's a few others here, or you can type in your own topic if you don't like any of them. So for this bit here, realistically, when you're in the session, you can talk for as long as you want to, but many people like it when they've got an end goal, like say 5 minutes as a warm up. It's better than nothing. So for this video, I'm going to go on 5 minute warm up and let's go.
James, qué bueno tenerte por acá. Hoy quiero preguntarte algo que me parece muy divertido. Si pudieras viajar a cualquier lugar del mundo mañana, ¿a dónde irías?
So now just turn on push to talk so that I can press that whenever I'm ready so it doesn't rush me. I can take my time and think, okay, what do I want to say back? And that is one of the biggest struggles where if you're trying to speak with a native speaker, you can feel rushed sometimes. And this gives you more time to think of a response. So you can still practice conversations, but it's less anxiety inducing, it's more relaxed. So now what's happening is it's highlighting every keyword that's more relevant to how you understand the context. And really, in real life conversation, that's what you do. Like I've spent 13 years learning Spanish and Italian this way. And basically, when native speakers say something to you, you might not understand every single word, but you pick out words that you do know, and based on the context and what's been said before and what you're talking about, you can sort of understand, maybe they're asking me about this. However, if that still stretches you quite a bit, what you can do is turn that off, but then turn the full English on. So basically, as the AI is speaking, you'll see the words load up. So when I've looked and I've understood what is being said to me, I can then go and tap to apply it in my own time. Me gustaría ir a Italia en septiembre cuando no hay mucha gente.
Ah, claro. Italia en septiembre es perfecta. El calor baja un poco y las ciudades respiran de nuevo. ¿Tienes alguna región específica en mente o todavía estás decidiendo?
Sí, me gustaría ir a Liguria en la costa.
Qué buena elección. Liguria es preciosa. Esos pueblitos de colores sobre el mar, la comida increíble. ¿Qué es lo que más te atrae de ir allí? ¿El paisaje, la comida o simplemente descansar?
And there we go. So you can see a bit of back and forth there. And also you'll notice that as I'm saying something, my accent might be a little bit off or a bit different to what I was expecting, but then it corrects it. So what happens is after the session finishes, it gives you corrections, but it doesn't correct you mid-speech because the purpose of this conversation is to get my point across, to be understood, to communicate. So even if I say something like tomorrow, dog walk for the park, then I actually mean that tomorrow I'm going to take my dog for a walk in the park, but I just said it in a really bad way. But the idea behind this platform is that it motivates you, it gives you confidence that you can actually communicate rather than being perfect. Obviously, after the session, I'd then be told, oh, these words are in the wrong order, do it this way instead. But then my mind is free from thinking in Spanish and trying to practice it. So the point of being in this session at the moment is to keep a conversation going and to keep my mentality, my mind in the moment of conversation. And if I can see I've made a mistake on screen or I'm corrected, I'm going to feel a little bit worse about my progress, especially if you're at a really basic level where you're just understanding a few words and phrases. So it's different to language apps because if you make a mistake there, they tell you what's wrong, and if it's correct, they give you a little tick box. But this instead, the purpose isn't to be right or wrong, it's to communicate to some extent, even if it's a bit wrong. So what it does is as I finish saying something, then it thinks, right, okay, what's James most likely to want to say? But it still saves a essentially wrong version of it in the background and then tells me the mistakes afterwards. So the feedback you get from it is what it replies. So obviously Diana is the AI persona I've picked. She will respond as if I've said something perfectly because then I feel, oh, okay, wait a minute, you understood me. That's good. So success in conversation should be has the other person understood me? So now I can see a little things. It's been more than 5 minutes. I can say keep going or wrap up. If that's it for me today, if I've done 5 minutes and that's fine, I can wrap up. But then I might want to keep going. If I'm into the flow of something and I'm really motivated, I'll keep going. Something else I want to point out as well is if obviously you're trying to get fluent in conversations, you might get stuck as to what to say back. So if a native speaker says something to you, you might freeze and think, oh crap, what am I saying? Well, this is a low pressure environment, and also here you can see a list of suggested phrases. So these are phrases that you can use to respond back to the AI. So the purpose of this is to keep the conversation going even if you're really grammatically bad. And what happens is every time the AI says something, this changes based on what it thinks you'll respond back to it. So it's literally up to date based on the last thing the AI says. So these are things which it thinks you're most likely to want to say next. So you can use these as like a skeleton or as a sort of stabilizer. Now obviously it depends what level you're at. These might be a bit too complicated for you if you're a basic level, but you can make it easier. So I might then mix and match a few of these, and if I'm not sure how to pronounce something, I can hear how it's pronounced by pressing this.
Creo que es una combinación. El paisaje es hermoso, pero también quiero probar la comida local.
And also you have a word lookup. So sometimes you're in a conversation and you just can't think of the right word to say. So I might be thinking, what's a word for that? So I might think, oh, what's a word for car? Type in car. I don't have to press anything, it just comes up coche. And I can also hear how that's pronounced. And then below here, you can see there's a few keywords down here, vocabulary, and that's also based on the last thing the AI asked me, based on what it thinks I'll likely say next. And then what I can do is end the session. And then I'm taken onto this page where I can see my progress. So I've got 2 different languages here, Spanish. I've not done that many sessions yet, so it shows a graph when you got after 3 sessions basically. So it's got more data. And now you can compare, okay, how was I in that date compared to now? And I'm progressing. And obviously grammar, I don't care about grammar, but that's fine. And then vocabulary range, how many different words, and then you've got length and confidence. It tells you different metrics based on what might matter to you, and also how long you've been speaking for as well. And the main point behind this is that many people stop learning a language because they can't see progress. It's hard to put a number behind how well you're doing speaking a different language. Whereas in a gym or doing fitness, you can see, oh, I did a new personal best of this time. Or in a gym, you might lift 10 kilograms rather than 8. So you can see that. But then with language learning, you can't. And I can then see, okay, you're getting more fluent, so that's good. So I might be tempted to quit, but then a while ago, okay, I did less words per minute then, and I've gained 17 words per minute. Then that can really help you stay motivated. So back to my original point, flashcards can help you, but if you want to get good at conversations, the best thing is like training for a marathon or anything. If you want to get good at sprinting, do lots of sprints. If you want to get good at marathons, then get good at running for a steady pace over a long period of time. So if you want to train your brain to get good at conversations and essentially get fluent as fast as possible, you have to enjoy the process, you have to stay motivated by seeing your progress, the content that you focus on as well, doing things that interest you, so the topic of conversation matters massively, and also not getting corrected in conversations so that you can gain your confidence, you can get your point across, but not be corrected, and ultimately keep the conversation flowing even if you make mistakes, and that's the whole point behind it. Anyway, finally, I have made a 5-day free email course, and essentially it's all about how to have conversations with native speakers and stop freezing up when they speak to you. I cover more detail about the psychology behind it. But anyway, that is it for today. I'll put a link to this platform below and in the comments as well, so you can go and check it out yourself. But yeah, see you later.